Introducing Treasure Hunt by Jacob Clover. So Treasure Hunt it has no capitals, right? So it's not gonna be capitally driven, if you catch my drift. A silly game, use arrows and enter, and the music is by someone with an unpronounceable name on Newgrounds. And it makes me think, I don't think this is actually, I checked this out. This is a brutal death metal drumming. I don't think that's like actually what the soundtrack is. It's just there as far as I'm concerned. And we'll see what the actual mystery of it is. But this name looks like an abbreviation for something. Speaking of which, I should have checked this out, and I hope I'm going to take it off the screen. I'm taking it off the air because I have no idea. I'm surprised this profile exists. Usually, so this looks okay. Usually what happens when you see Newgrounds sources, I guess, or citations from a game that is this old, because guess what? This game is from January 11th, 2013, right? Pretty old, 10 years old, over 10 years, in fact. Usually 10-year-old citations to Newgrounds don't last, but this one did. And this person even has shown signs of life since 2016. So, that he's kind of survived. And I assume he still posts on YouTube a little bit. And there he is. Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, basically, to some extent, this dude, I forgot what this thing meant. He's still around. And enough stalling. Like, let's just get into the game or whatever it is. So Treasure Hunt, press enter to begin. So obviously, as you notice, he is a liberal use of hyphens here because he's unwilling to have a sentence just laid out in one line. This is clearly a anti-line game, clearly subverting all the expectations we expect from proper English grammar. By the way, I forgot to actually... I think I said it, but I didn't register it. A silly game, use arrows and enter. You're right. Okay, enter. Player must follow path. Player must get treasure. X marks the spot. Stick to the path. As everyone can see, certain words are highlighted in blue. There's probably... it's just for emphasis, but it makes me think of how, Bioshock 1 had a certain sort of emphasis, if you catch my drift. It's important to move slowly and take much care so you don't find yourself dead. Sorry for bumping to the boom arm a little bit there. Not that anyone... Whoa, you bump into Tony Wyndham. I've been seeing some strange events recently. Goodbye, Tony. So Tony wasn't even on the map there. Larry spots you, shouts out. He shouts out your name. I have something to tell you. Go away, Larry. Maybe I should listen to Larry one day. And then you got I don't know, 7. Can I count today? 8 underscores? Or is it hyphens? Or there's just lines. There are a lot of lines on this. An eagle swoops down. I'm supposed to dodge out of the way or something. Eagle lost interest. Why was the eagle even attempting that anyway? If it's just gonna lose interest, it's so much, because a behemoth appears. He wants to fight, and it's a cow. What will I do? I can't pick. Oh no, I can. Instead of up and down, you use left and right. So this is the brutal death drumming. I see. Now I understand. So when I think about a behemoth that approaches me like this, I don't think grenades are really good. I mean, the behemoth's not gonna stand in one place. Power nap and fake death. To me, that's just the same thing. So in this case, what I do think, though, I said they're the same thing, but it's not entirely true. There are minor differences between doing a power nap and faking your death. I think faking a death is more so like trying to avoid the situation by effectively going limp, right? By attempting to pretend that you have no consciousness. Whereas a power nap, you are actually doing the same thing as faking your death, but you do gain the benefit of napping, as some may say. The sort of nap you take after lunchtime, a lunchtime nap. I don't know, is that a phrase? Do people say that? So I'm gonna do a power nap because it's gonna give us a buff, just like in Fallout New Vegas and Fallout. Behemoth has been weakened. Oh, look at that. And now we fake the death, right? Because clearly we have gained the understanding of what it means to bend ourselves with a lack of consciousness, and now we should just take it to the next level. and it was weakened. It worked. So now this is where we use the grenade, because we've exhausted all of our options. We have the power of the nap. We have lulled the behemoth into a sense of false security. Now it's a perfect time to use grenade. The behemoth is not going to move out of the way. It'll catch it off guard. And there we go. It was actually just as planned. Behemoth fainted vigorously. And now we're back to some sort of bluegrass psychedelic music that sounds like it came out of Hotline Miami. You know the Hotline Miami main theme? A basket of kittens appears. Oh, okay. Get them on the way back. They're okay. I don't know. Do kittens really just stay in one place? Oh, an old man came up and took your left sock. I didn't need that one anyway. I'm not even sure if my character is even using shoes. I don't even know what kind of shoes they're using. And Eagle swoops get back on track, and I'm going side to side. Eagle lost interest, so completely successful. So I don't even know what kind of shoes my character is using. I don't even know if I'm going to be returning. And you know what? I haven't even been taken any advantage of all the underscores that have been located on the bottom of the screen every time an event appears. A shark is after me. Get back on track, and I'm going side to side. And you can see a little bit of the rainbow the influence on the dude's fins. Okay, now I'm closing in on the X. You come to a sign. It reads, "No treasure is here. Go away." You ignore the sign. Silly sign. What makes it think there's no treasure here? It must be hiding something. And I see there's lightning bolt on the middle of the screen there. It's just interesting sighting. I did not realize the weather was going to be like that today. Or, oh, maybe that's where the treasure is now, right? A shark is after me. Get back on track. What kind of radiant quest is this? Is this Starfield? Look for the astral treasure, the Starborn. And apparently the Starborn is so sexy. They just constantly attract all the sharks unnecessarily, needlessly. Another shark. This is on purpose. Like, you can actually tell, right? This is Jake Clover's, one of his mastermind plans over the median over here. You're going over, you find a shovel. Nothing will stand in your way. Just like Team Fortress 2 and when I get the rocket jumper. Okay, another eagle. Okay, yeah, I understand. Wildlife is after me. Wildlife is cruel. But sometimes I am cruel to the wildlife. Sometimes I throw the grenades after taking a power nap, and then after faking my own death, and then after realizing that, oh, I should just use the grenade in the first place. Because apparently, yeah, faking your death and power naps are the same exact thing, and it doesn't even matter. You dig down and find a chest. What's inside? It's a note from Tony and Larry. See, I knew I should have listened to whoever they were. You never listen to us. Get out of town, player. And then you got like 7 question marks. And then the game over. And you know, the game over reminds me of the phrase Game Boy. You know, there's a connection there. A game connection? Nah, it's just a game theory. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. And wow. And obviously, this is just so obvious to anyone who's ever played this game. The moral of the story is that it's about the journey. It's not the destination. Really, brilliant. A round of applause. I'm sorry. Do I sound too sarcastic? But I mean, in a sense, like it's an interesting way, for lack of a better term, because everyone uses the word interesting. It's an interesting way to actually illustrate that lesson, that it's about the journey and not the destination, right? Although it makes me wonder, I don't know, what's the treasure is listening to Larry and Tony, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, why did the treasure matter, right? Why do Tony and Larry care so much? Why do they care about the player that much? Are Tony and Larry aware of the shark problem within the arena of the rural country? The sort of rural country that if you were to pass by it, you would think, oh, it makes for a great album cover for a singer-songwriter. So I'll open that, just have it there queued up. Hopefully it doesn't play, and it did not. Views, 2.5K, 11 likes. Wait, how's that compare? Let's check. More than the gibberish game, less than Gecko in Space, more than Space Dosh. Deserved, because Space Dosh is not quite a masterpiece. A little bit less than Consequent. And, you know, I think this is a better game than Consequent. I think everyone can agree on that. You know, if we were to get like a sample size of 100 random gamers to play Consequent and then play Treasure Hunt, I think everyone would agree Treasure Hunt's the better game. So 9 comments all the way to the bottom. Bob Moo claims that this is a great game. And actually, I agree. This is a great game. Nick, I wait for the movie adaptation of this. Well, Nick, I hope you're still not waiting after 10 years. Old deleted profile. Again, interesting. I think that's like this is a real profile, right? That's not just their name. Oh, I accidentally showed the Own Master 9000. So anyway, this is a real person's. I left. Read my pin post. I don't. What? Using your name as your headline. Hey, I can read your text again. My eyes must be getting better. I'm so happy. Which is interesting because of the way Jake purposefully formatted and I guess outlined the text. Indie Game Hunt with the words, loved it. Very entertaining. I like the primary color scheme. I never thought of it like that. Primary color scheme. It could do with some bleeps and bloops though. Where would you put bleeps and bloops? I mean, Jake agrees, but I feel the soundtrack was pretty fitting. I didn't catch all of it, right? Like I said, it was like a little bit of a Hotline Miami neo-psychedelic thing with some brutal tech death drumming. Yeah, and here Night Blar gets it. I seriously approve of this creative expression. 3. Why 3? Why? They were going overboard on. Oh, because the 3 is... I thought this was an arrow, but it's actually the hyphen trying to demonstrate the continuation of the sentence or the word on the next line. Brilliant. What you expect by a Jake Clover gamer. Vatsk said what the other said in bleep. Okay, why do people think this needs electronic music? I mean, a lot of the music's electronic, but this didn't need Kid A Radiohead influence. Derpitron, that's definitely a 10-year-old name. Could have had more, but it wouldn't be the same. I mean, of course. But do you mean that in like a way? What? Think about the consequence of that comment. Wouldn't be the same. I mean, yeah, it could have been better. But I actually think that this game did what it wanted to do effectively. Jelly Gal. Yeah. What else? Who else? I love it. Very short, but fun and hilarious little game. Despite having Atari 2600S graphics, which I say a lot, Atari, so I agree there, it's surprisingly atmospheric. The eagles and sharks get kind of annoying, but apart from that, totally recommended. Yeah, I just agree, 100%. But the sharks being annoying, I think is the point. I don't know. What do they do? I don't know. Besides like annoy. Maybe in a way, the sharks constantly appearing on your screen is Jake's secret commentary on how Pokemon and other RPGs like Final Fantasy VI, maybe Suikoden 2, maybe the other, oh no, how could I, the Tales of Arcadia, is that what it's called? I hope I'm right. Tales of Arcadia. Okay, I was expecting an image. What is this? Oh my god, what am I thinking of? The Famicom games. Oh, please tell me this is a real thing. No, oh, it's escaping me. Tales of, these are not the tales I want. It's not, okay, I gotta look it up. Hold on. Tales of Arise? It's not Tales of Arise. Okay, I gotta go through I gotta use my game database research skills. Oh, Legend of Heroes. Here it is. Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky. So there you go. That was a long way to get to my point. It's a secret commentary on games like Legend of Heroes, Suikoden 2, Final Fantasy VI, and Pokemon that have these random encounters, and they just pretty much seek to annoy you eventually as you get to the destination. Yeah, pretty much. And for anyone who wants to see it on screen, what I should have done in the first place, Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky SC, which is like one of apparently the best iteration of this series. Nihon Falcom, there you go. That's why I typed in Famicom. It was very similarly sounding, is apparently the best entry of the series. But this is in the middle of the entire storyline, so you have to, play it from the beginning. Check it out, because apparently not enough people have played this sort of game. This link at the front led to Brutal Death Drummer. So this is where it was sampled from. I don't know if it was done with permission. I'm not sure, but okay, let's just go through it. So this guy's symbols are way too metallic, quite sibilant. Something I'll note. Now, this is, meaningless critique, but I feel I would rather listen to the drummer of Ulcerate do this sort of playing rather than the fellow here on screen. Dime Tap 69. Why is that his name? I'm not sure. And I mean that in the sense, I think, was it Jaime? Or is it Jaime? I think it's Jaime. Jaime St. Merat just understands a drum cam. This guy is such a good drummer. He understands how to drum so much better. So, Stern to Death. Okay, here. This is his main channel. So, just... Hey, look at this dude. Oh, actual art. Calculated. It's like every single thing he does. It's like just with intention. Intent. I can't even tell if his arm has a sleeve on it. I think that's a tattoo. And this guy, above all, he's from New Zealand? New Zealanders can play drums like this? If you told me this guy was from New Zealand, I would have half believed you. I would have thought, oh, you just mean Australian. But no, he's actually from Tasmania. No, he's like actually from New Zealand. Look at that actual art. Delicate. This is like float like a bee and then sting like a butterfly. And then there's a fade out for some reason. He can't just go into the next bit of it. Look at that. His drums sound really crisp. It's kind of uncanny, but he's also I believe the recording engineer or something like that. So, I mean, I don't know. He knows his stuff. He's the Steve Albini of New Zealand, I guess. He knows what sounds like a microphone if it were an SM57. Okay, that's actually, I think that's all I got on this. I just realized I probably have to mute this because this is copyrighted music, but whatever. So Treasure Hunt, narrative exploration with a postmodern, podmodern. I understand I use postmodern a lot. I think I'm still using it appropriately, but maybe I'm just using it so much. It's like losing its meaning. But yeah, Treasure Hunt. Mechanics. It's just moving with the arrow keys. Sometimes you have to pick an option using the left and right arrow keys. And the only time you use enter is just to begin the game. So for resource management, there's just none of that. You're never really in danger because you dodge every shark, every eagle. And the shovel is, I guess, a sort of resource. It's like a Metroidvania in that sense, right? You need that tool to progress. But really, at the end of the day, you don't really need to manage anything. You just you get the shovel because for whatever reason, to demonstrate how pointless it is to walk from the X to the shovel just because Jake wants to annoy you with sharks. Is this a fun game? I actually think this is spoiler alert, I haven't been playing these back to back and I took some time off to do this, but coming back to this, I actually really did like this game and it feels more fresh than the other games, like way more fresh than Space Dosh. More like there's more of something to actually get from Consequent while it's maintaining the same artistic integrity. And man, I just realized I should have looked this game up on the Glitchwave website so I could see what other people think of it. The two other people ever who have played these games. This is a 1.5 estimated out of 5, so that's a 3 out of 10. Yeah, it's only two people, so not the biggest sample size, but it does have the two people who care about these games. The two of like 20 people ever in history, and I would consider myself included in the 20 people. A 5 out of, I'm just gonna estimate it once again, the 5 out of 10, and another 5 out of 10. I don't think this is like middle in the road for Jake Clover's discography. I can see why they think that. But this is way better, in my opinion, than the other games that were postmodern. Like, I think this is better than Gecko Goes to Space. I think this is better than the, obviously, Consequent, less Realm. Okay, I gotta go through a list, don't I? Whoa. This is better than the Gibberish game. Better than Space Dosh, obviously. I mean, most games are better than Space Dosh. Better than Monstrous Monstrosities. Better than Titan Flux Capacity 2, Liquid Resonance. I actually like the Varuked Dinky Timian, so I think it's better than Asake. Probably not better than New Inspector. So ease of use, this is one of the easiest games ever to play. You just move to the X and move to the shovel, and then when you have to throw a grenade, you throw the grenade. For graphics, this is an Atari 2600 game, as Jay Legal once mentioned. For the appearance, now this is pretty obvious, but very often the words would be cut off, right? So there's like an odd theme about words being cut off before they can finish, right? I guess it's maybe experimenting with the screen real estate. how important it is to have your words be conveyed so that they are formatted properly and easy to read, and so they aren't cut off by the end. Because if you think about it, we don't often see that in video games where games are cut off and have to be continued to the next line. It's just never really going to happen. Like, can you imagine if Disco Elysium was like that all the time? Like, no one would read it. Everyone would only just listen to it. Thinking a lot about this. Okay, so for the appearance, the formatting of words, wherein the words are often cut off, and as a result, not as a result, but by extension, the formatting is different from games as a whole. Formatting of, let's say, all text is different. It's very unconventional. I think you could especially see this when you pick your options, like, you know, when you have to pick the grenade, and by extension, when Jake would randomly throw in random, you know, I know, redundant, random underscores and hyphens at the bottom of every message. It's like, what was the point there? I mean, it's even in kind of the title screen a little bit, if I may. Let me, yeah, here. It's right there, right? These hyphens, the title screen, I believe is the title screen. Or maybe it's not the title screen, it's the thumbnail. Nonetheless, like the hyphens illustrated here are just there placed randomly. And they don't really have, I would say, an extraordinary significance. It's just an odd bit of flavor. The pictures of animals are often deep fried, so that conveys a sort of lo-fi aesthetic. That's all I got, it's just lo-fi. I guess that goes hand in hand with the Atari graphics. Words that are randomly highlighted with primary colors. I guess, so I am quoting a fellow commenter here, Indie Game Hunt, right? The primary color scheme. I think the reason for that is because Jake is probably experimenting with using a minimal amount of colors and seeing how far they can get with that. The map is really simple, just one of the most basic treasure maps ever, way more simple than the treasure hunt you would have to do in a old school RuneScape, I don't know, tier 3 treasure hunt. Blue scroll map pursuit. And the shovel was a little bit hard to make out, and it looked like a lightning bolt. Wasn't really obvious, but nonetheless, you could make it out. And somehow, all the results I'm getting are not very good. Apartment song. Oh, Sun Aral deep cover. That's what it was. Oh my. Well, I played it now. I got copyright strike. Yeah, this game. Or not this game. This Sun Aral deep cover, which I guess is from this. Is that really what the album is? I don't remember it being like that. Hold on. There's no way that was the album. Is that really the album cover? I thought it was like something else. Or am I thinking of something? Oh, wait. Oh my God, I'm thinking of the wrong song. I gotta actually look it up properly. Horse Steppin'. Is that what it is? I gotta look. Which one? How? Where's Horse Steppin'? Well, good thing no one's waiting for me to progress. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Sun Aral Horse Steppin', which kind of sounds like a Danny Brown song where he talks about getting high. I don't know why that's an Atrocity Exhibition, by the way. Why is that on Atrocity Exhibition? I'm serious. Like, I feel, now if you ask me, I'm going to be honest, I think that takes away from Atrocity Exhibition. I don't think that should have been on the album at all. Hot take. I mean, I don't know how many, I'm not the biggest Atrocity Exhibition fan, but for, you know, that song being on there is kind of one of the reasons why. How's it? I think it was also Coconut Silver Lights. Yeah, this one. I mean, not really as much as Horse Steppin'. Yeah, I think it's Sun Aral Horse Steppin'. Maybe that I remember that felt very similar to the song and game. Speaking of which, man, I'm losing my touch. I should have played the game's soundtrack in the background. So it's not the exact same as Horse Steppin', but I think the vibe is pretty much conveyed. It's what? I'm not even doing anything. It's just playing the game for me. Holy shoot! Does it? Oh, you actually have to do all of the. Oh, look at that! I'm discovering the mechanics of the game. Okay, but you get the point a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna call this Neo Psychedelia. I think that is what it is. I can't really look it up right now, unfortunately. That's why you're hearing Windows system sounds. Story and writing. The story is about the journey and not the destination, but obviously the upfront story is about trying to get treasure and then realizing the treasure is that you should have listened to your friends. Now, I think that's probably a little bit of an exaggeration because I don't think I don't think it's that deep about trusting your friends. But you can make the argument if you really wanted to get a good moral out of it. And I don't think this game is repetitive at all. It's pretty one and done, and it's pretty quick. So I think this game in the wider gaming industry is a narrative exploration with absurd comedy. I mean, that's like really what a lot of the recent games have been. And as always, I'm just going to make comparisons, very surface level comparisons to a game like Stanley Parable. And I think we're all good with the music there. Very surface level comparisons with Stanley Parable. And for me personally, I do like, this is like one of the first games where I felt it really was more about the journey than the destination. And I think that what could have been done better is less sharks. Yeah, too many random encounters, but maybe that was the point. The point is to illustrate how annoying random encounters are. So where does this game stand in Jake Clover's catalog? I do believe that this is a quick and sweet narrative exploration with some story elements to think about. It's something that Jake, of course, has done very regularly, but I think he did this better and in a way that is more coherent. It's similar to Consequent, Less Realm, whatever else I'm going to see here. It's way better than the gibberish game. I think it's better than Gecko in Space. I would even argue a little bit it's better than Verwick Dinky Timon, better than Asake. I understand like Asake has the hidden element of that war is pointless, but I don't know. I just enjoyed this one way more. Maybe because it's like such a much quicker and sweeter narrative exploration that actually had ideas that were like that are not only interesting but very much conveyed if you gave it some thought. It's not like you had to really, I don't know. It's not like you really have to think about it more than, but I don't even know what I mean by that. Like, think about it more than 5 minutes. What would you get from thinking about this game more than 5 minutes? What I mean is, I didn't have to feel as if I were missing something. The message it was trying to convey to me, as far as I know, was definitely put in a way that was in reach. You just had to, of course, reach out for it. And I think that is the end of the entire showcase of this treasure hunt game. Treasure Night Fever, and I need to stop saying and GG's good games.